Recently, we here at Respawning were given the opportunity to catch up with some of our friends at Bandai Namco at their London Richmond offices, and whilst the contents of this meetup were embargoed, we're now allowed to gush to our heart's content about what we played. One of the games we were shown on the day was Sword Art Online Alicization Lycoris, affectionately and unofficially, codenamed Lycoris by some of the guys there. A new semi-open world hack and slash like from developers Aquara, alongside Bandai Namco, focusing on the Alicization arc of Sword Art Online. Set after the third season of the anime Gun Gale Online, you fill the shoes of a variety of party characters, fight numerous bosses and scale the mysterious lands of Underworld. However, there's actually not too much I can really say about the game, not due to any sort of embargo or any sort of super secret press access. It's purely because of one little tiny annoying thing. The mandatory 10-minute time limit. With every play session that we had with the game, we were only limited to play for 10 minutes at a time, and you can expect with an open world game like this, it kind of inhibits your need to explore and pretty much pushes you towards the boss fights immediately. Not only this, but we were also given God mode throughout the whole experience, making the whole act of gauging difficulty and challenge more of a challenge in of itself than the actual game. It was pretty rough, but I think the game has some soft spots underneath that really need to be shined and really should be celebrated actually. Gameplay takes the centre stage here. You manoeuvre as a group of 4 party characters, with you being able to change between them actively at any point, even in combat. The animation for this is slick and very smooth, something that I wish that other action role-playing games similar to Lycoris could take away and refine, similar to things like Ys. The switching is super smooth, but it becomes a bit of a muddled fuss once you start worrying about skills, enemy states, dodging, and way more. There's so much to do and manage! Additional to this, a lot of the skills that your characters have are a sort of manual target affair. Personally, I actually quite liked this, as opposed to the traditional push a button and watch a pretty animation style of looking at your special attacks, but it felt like a big attack was really being charged and pulled off. Like with each bar that my strike filled, the bigger and weightier it would be. But this was dampened somewhat by the God mode and the odd damage scaling as well. Enemies seemed to enter a sort of staggered state at points known as the atrophy gauge, but it was kind of unclear as to what exactly it did. It would be your chance to do big hits, do big damage, juggle enemies in the air and more, but without the context of a proper tutorial, it was all a moot point really, and it was quite confusing, at least from our perspective. I feel that if the demo had opened up at this point and introduced the mechanics maybe over a 20-minute period, it would have been much easier to digest than maybe a small open world segment and one boss fight or 2 boss fights really. Visually, the game looked good with its environments, but character models were a different kettle of fish. It was clear that some polish was still needed, but I wouldn't call it bad by any means. A bit rough around the edges, yes, but not bad at all. The soundtrack was, unfortunately, a bit less memorable and a bit less forgiving. Nothing in our 2 10-minute sessions really stuck with me. Perhaps this is something that will be alleviated with the final release, but this chance to put the game's best foot forwards had more of a stumble in my opinion. My curiosity is piqued, but I'd be lying if I said I was wholly interested in picking this up again closer to release. Again, saying this, I'm what you may consider a bit of a casual SAO fan. I enjoyed the first half of the first season, hated the second half, and dropped it thereafter. So perhaps the more entrenched fans will get a much far better endorphin shot from this title than I necessarily would. Regardless, Sword Art Online Alicization Lycoris seems to be attempting to take SAO up to the big leagues in terms of anime games, now stepping out from the niche shadows and entering the larger stream of surface anime games. I can only wonder how this title will compare, vying for sales and attention from the rest of Bandai Namco's catalogue that we were shown that day. To sum it all up, however, Lycoris was like an odd blend of Xenoblade Chronicles and Dragon's Dogma. Will this odd mix be decent? Well, find out for yourselves when the game finally releases. Sword Art Online Alicization Lycoris releases on PlayStation 4, Xbox One and Windows worldwide on May 22nd, 2020. Let me know down in the comments what you think and if you'll be picking up this unique title close to release. Saying that, if you want to help us and support us a little bit, then feel free to check out some of our Amazon affiliate links down below in the description. A little bit of the money that you spend there goes towards us and really helps us out with new equipment and to be able to bring you bigger and better coverage like this. Stay frosty, people.